check. Hey there, check.
The following is a presentation of the Spartan Media Network.
Welcome to the Spartan Media Network from Playfly Sports.
Here comes Fears. 73-70 is the score. On the side, Ukachuko. He got it! He got it! We are tied at 73. Rebound, Wardy's going to go all the way. Oh, what a slam! He slammed right over top of a 7-1 guy.
Stevenson's trying to time it up, and he just got posterized.
I want that poster.
It is time for the Auto Owners Insurance presentation of the Tom Izzo Show. Tonight's show is sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance, Simple Human Sense. The Tom Izzo Show is also brought to you by Meyer, supporting hundreds of sports teams across the Midwest. Labatt Blue Light, we're brewed for the roast. SeatGeek, the official ticket marketplace of MSU Athletics. One North Kitchen and Bar, making good times great. Dean Trailways, the official ground transportation provider of Spartan Athletics. Make Dean Trailways your favorite ride. And Coors Light, choose chill. Now, alongside Mike Garland and Michigan State head basketball coach Tom Izzo, here's the voice of Spartan basketball, Will Tieman.
And a pleasant good evening to everybody around the great state of Michigan and beyond. Welcome into the Tom Izzo Show, brought to you by Auto Owners Insurance here, One North Kitchen and Bar in East Lansing. I'm going to give Tom a stat he doesn't know. He probably doesn't know that he's going into the Purdue game tied for the longest winning streak in the Big Ten right now. 2 games.
Really?
Yeah, that's how crazy this is.
You're right. I didn't know.
We're tied with Minnesota. We've both won 2 in a row. How about that?
That's amazing.
Well, maybe I should just ask you what you're thinking, what you want to talk about.
Yeah, listen, you get this time of year, and Mike knows this. You try to get a feel for your guys. You try to get them to understand the sense of urgency. They're tired. You're tired. The refs are definitely tired. And, it was, I'll be honest with you. As I look back on the film, I was more disappointed in some of the things we did, but I was the Kohler thing, 3 of his 4 fouls were ridiculous, and I can say that. I won't say who called them, but it was that hurt us because it kind of took us out of some things that we had planned, and we thought we had an opportunity. We were going to go to them right off the bat, but I said this to my staff. I said it to my team. I think I even said it to the media, but we script our first 4 plays, which means you know exactly what play we're running the first 4 times. I stole it from my buddy Mariucci football. They have all the down and distance and what side of the hash mark, and they know they script their plays. And so I stole that 30 years ago. Absolutely. When we started.
Used to be
because I figured that then my guys, you get to a Final Four, you're nervous. At least you know the play,
Right.
And we started out the game and we just kind of, threw it away and turned it over and didn't know the play. And you kind of get a feel right then that everything's not going to be perfect all the time, but you do wonder where people's heads are. And then this is the time of year when you wear down, you get distracted, you have other things. People, maybe the fact that, when Michigan beat Purdue there, maybe nobody can catch them. And now you have a little letdown, whatever the letdown is. And I just felt like that between the calls, between the Jackson on the bench playing 16 minutes. I mean, he still had 9 points and 10 rebounds. And then, as I tell Jack all the time, because he's in between, right, Jack? But I get a lot of people mad at me for sitting my player when he has 2 fouls. So some coaches saw my press conference sitting John Calipari and Mike Krzyzewski and all these different coaches. I don't know, they must be bored, so they watch the press conference, and I'm getting these texts, well, I sat mine too, and I didn't want to do that. And sure enough, I said, well, I told Wojcik, to please the media, I'm going to put him back in. Now, if you think I did that to please the media, you're all drinking too much, But I said, we're not playing good, hopefully, I said, but the 2 calls he got were bad. Well, the 3rd call was worse than the 2nd one. And so there he is with 3 fouls. And what that does is that people don't realize you start playing different. In the second half, you got to play 20 minutes. And you aren't going to play with the same energy and everything because you're afraid to move. So I screwed that up. In all honesty, I was disappointed that I didn't think we brought anything. We got in foul trouble. I made a decision that I know better on. So I can't blame anybody but myself on that. There's a place and time you could play a guy with 2. It's hard to those inside guys, though, when there's so much going on. A guard can stay out of traffic, stay out of trouble. But, it happens sometimes where you don't, where you play a guy and you get away with it. But I don't know. Hasn't worked so bad over the years when I think about it. And but I did make the decision, and it wasn't because of the media. I promise you that. And it wasn't because of any other reason except I panicked a little bit because I just had a feel, Some days you have a feel whether you have it or not, and it was not there. And so that's my excuse. They played good. We could not guard Thornton with a fishnet. Disappointing, but we did have some positives. I mean, I thought my freshman played really well. I thought, Cooper had a great offensive game. I thought Jackson played pretty well in the minutes he played. Cohen rebounded a little better. There were some points that were pluses, but not a very great performance for a Sunday CBS. Big game, last game for the Izzone, second to last game for the seniors. And so the reason I was almost late is, we had a little practice, we had a meeting, then I had a meeting with my captains, and almost forgot about the show. But I'm here. I'm here for a lot of questions instead of Will and I and Mike talking.
And don't wait till the end of the show to come up and ask a question. We have an hour here. You can come up.
Jack, I would like you to ask me a question on why you've always been a proponent of playing guys with 2 fouls. Yes. You got to use the mic, Jack. And you got to remember, as Jack's coming up here, what Jack doesn't appreciate is when you've been in the league 30 years, 90% of the zebras.
Right.
You know what they are, what they aren't. Who's saying to myself, that guy got 2 fouls, so it better be a big one before it's the 3rd. And then there's a new guy in here once in a while, and you say, I don't trust him. That's not against him. It's just a fact of life. But go ahead.
Yeah. I think it's situational, and a good coach takes advantage of that knowledge. You know that your players, which ones can do it. Some can, some can't. And I've seen coaches who they get behind by 8 points, and then they rush the guy back in, immediately gets the 3rd foul. But I saw Illinois in Jenison, and I think you were a Judd assistant at the time, lose a Big Ten title with it. They had Bruce Douglas, was a guard, got 2 fouls in the first 4 minutes, sat him out the whole first half, lost the game in that span, came back in, played the whole second half, and finished with 3 fouls.
You know what's beautiful about that, before I let him really ask the question? That was 35 years ago, brother. You came up with something that happened 35 years ago. I just love those people that say, well, once in a, it happened one time, I mean.
It's happened a lot. I was trying to come up with something you would remember, so.
35 years.
Ouch.
But let me ask you a question.
Yeah. I don't think there's a right way or a wrong way.
No, but let me ask you a question
Yeah.
about our team and our program.
Yeah.
How do we play?
How do you play?
Yeah, describe it.
Well, you try to defend,
Yeah.
rebound.
But how do
Right.
we defend? And how do we
Which day?
rebound?
A little more
No,
physical usually.
No, you know what I'm trying to say.
No,
We
I'm
play
saying
aggressive, and we teach
Yeah.
our kids to play
Yeah.
aggressive. And if we leave them out there for the most part, somebody's going to get that third foul because of how we play. We can't undo
You know what,
we're
Mike?
doing.
We got to give Jack a little
know,
credit because he's been with me the whole time. But if one
There's always a
thing I
problem.
would like to do here sometime, I've done this with you once many years ago. I don't trust anybody anymore, but it'd be fun to show some video here while we're
Yeah.
doing stuff.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
that
and,
would be
and
great.
then you could see some of these fouls and what happens if you think you feel comfortable with referees that are working 29 games a month and are struggling to get in position, there's nobody trying to purposely, like somebody said, well, we got to pay the refs more. We got to get the best refs in the country. We got to do this. And guys, God, well, he does work 29 days out of a month, but just about nobody else can do that. And so you have to take that into consideration too. And when the first two went, I said the way they went, I mean, my staff was going nuts. And now we have an iPad on the bench. We can look back on these things. And a couple times that you guys got the monitor up there,
Yeah.
but I can look at the iPad. My guy can stop it, and he can show. I mean, it's mind-boggling. That's not why we played bad, guys. But that was my fault. I went against what I believe in.
But I don't think it was wrong.
I know you don't, because
And
you're a
I'll tell
big
you why.
proponent of it. 35 years ago, it happened once.
Guys,
No, you know your guys, and there's a reason you did it, and it wasn't for the media.
No.
So why did you do it?
I was laughing because
Yeah.
I wouldn't do anything for the media.
I know
No
that.
insult intended.
But why did you do it? You did it from your experience and your knowledge of Jackson.
I did it because I didn't like the way it was going, and I stepped outside the box, which is okay once in a while to do that. But for the most part, I knew how that game was being called, and that was a dumb move by the head coach. So before I blame the players, I'm gonna blame me. That was not the right move. Now he hit a three in there.
Yeah.
But
Can I
What-
say one more thing?
yeah,
Why I don't think it was a dumb move.
because we won.
Yes, that's number one. Number two is, let's say you had sat him the whole first half, right? Now you come out, you got the same official who's worked 29 days. He hasn't left. You come out, and in the first 15 seconds of the second half, he gets that foul. Now he's playing tentative for 19:45 instead of 20 minutes. What's the difference? You got that three from him in the first half.
Yeah,
right?
but you know what? I could talk to the kid. I could look at film at halftime. I could talk to the official. I could tell him how screwed up he was. I mean, there's a lot of things I could have done, but I'm just saying, here's the way you got to look at it, because this is the way fans look at things. You're a creature of habit, and people can call that old school, the new school. It hasn't worked so bad for us over the 30 years.
Yeah.
It has not worked so bad. And I'm sure there's one or two games that I probably lost because I did it like Illinois. I'm sure there is, but you just can't imagine what it's like to trust the people making these calls. And that's not against them.
Yeah.
It's just harder to do than you think. And so you put all those things together. Would
Would you do it again the next time?
No.
You're going to keep him on.
No, I think what I'm going to start doing is if he gets one in the first minute, I'm pulling him then. I'm going to sit. No, really.
No.
And I'm going to sit down and I'm going to talk to him and I'm going to tell him, that they're going to call it a little close in there. You can't do this, you can't do that. And then now, from my experience, that official is going to hear about it a lot more when I take him out I'm going to tell him I had to take him out because I don't trust you.
Yeah.
So then I think you get a little better.
Wouldn't it be cool to mic him up?
Yeah,
It'd be awesome.
But you know, Chief,
my
the
mother,
thing-
my
you know,
mother
the
would
thing-
not be very happy.
You know, Chief, the thing that scares me the most is that cylinder rule where when you're in the arc and sometimes the kid can't jump. So if you're in the arc, and this is what a lot of fans don't understand, you inside the arc and the guy's under there and he pumps up and you just hold yourself
Yeah.
up and you don't jump,
Yeah.
that's an automatic foul.
Or here's one. Do you remember when they
I
hit
don't
the
like
ball out of bounds? That's always been a technical. Well, I learned a new rule that I didn't know, and it still should have been a technical. I found out
Right.
today. But they made that mistake. So we are going to a commercial. I'd be glad to talk to you when we get done.
We'll be right back. We solve problems in just a moment.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
If auto owners make sense for you.
From the biggest of the big games to the littlest of the little.
There you go. Go.
Run, James!
No. First base.
Go, go, go! Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. From some of the biggest stadiums in the state to the familiar fields down the street. You're helping make a difference to the people and places you call home. Learn more at Meijer.com/community.
There's a difference between an answer and a Michigan answer. It starts with our team and people like you. University of Michigan Health Sparrow is hiring for a wide variety of roles at all experience levels. Unlock your potential and discover a fulfilling career at one of our award-winning hospitals and health centers. We make a difference every day, together. Join us at careers.uofmhealthsparrow.org.
Spartans, when it's game time, it's One North time. Just minutes from Michigan State University, One North Kitchen and Bar is your go-to spot for scratch cooking and world-class hospitality. When you're celebrating a win or catching up with friends, we've got the perfect dish to make every moment special. Join us for the MSU Coaches Show and get closer to the action with the voices that bring Spartan spirit to life. Visit One North Kitchen and Bar, where Spartan pride meets memorable meals.
And welcome back to the Coach Tom Izzo Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. We're here at One North Bar in East Lansing. Well, we have to throw a quick break here, Tom, but I do want to say one thing, and I'll address anybody that questioned what you did or did not do. If you want to go back to Brooks Douglas in 35 years, I can go there. The difference, though, 35 years ago, a foul was a foul. And the officials weren't working 29 days a month. And so Bill Raftery is one of the kindest guys I've ever heard on TV. He's fair, he's thoughtful. And as we were preparing to play our game, I was watching Ohio State play Wisconsin, and there was a couple of horrible calls. And what he said, Tom, he said, it's really unfair that this player got penalized for doing the right thing. So it's one thing to say to your guy, don't foul. It's another thing to know if they're going to call a foul, even if he doesn't foul. And that's an epidemic, I think, as I watch video around the country. And Tom says they won't listen to him. I don't know who they're going to listen to if they're not going to listen to him. But we got this great game. We got great players. We got great coaches. And until we get this thing under control, I don't know what Tom could do or the guy we play does, because it's crazy, Bill. And so, Jack, that's my take on it.
The game because of that. I was making a joke because I'm sure there's some of you in here that over the years have said, what the hell's he doing? I mean, I bet you on a lot of things, but I just mean specifically on sitting a guy. But I haven't had many times, Jack, you'd agree with this, I'm sure, where I had a guy get 2 fouls in the first 3 minutes. I mean, I don't remember.
Well, Al Allegheny got
I
one
was
in the
gonna
first
say,
3 seconds.
that was in warm-ups.
No, that was
but that did happen.
That was on the jump ball. He crunched the guy's hand.
Okay, guys, after that commentary, we're going to take a break. Back with more in a moment as you're listening to the Tom Izzo Show.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the seat view feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
MSU women's basketball team shows us the power of teamwork and dedication. Off the court, Diversified Insurance Group brings that same commitment to protecting what matters most. As an official partner of Michigan State University Athletics, we're proud to stand with the Spartans. Whether it's home, auto, life, or business insurance, Diversified Insurance Group has the coverage you need to stay ahead of the game. Personalized solutions just like a perfectly executed play. Visit WeDigInsurance.com today and let's win together on and off the court. Go green, go white, go MSU women's basketball.
Spartan fans, Greenstone Farm Credit Services has the home team advantage when it comes to providing personalized lending and financial services. Score keys to a new home through Greenstone's Country Home Lending Services, or call the shots yourself with a DIY home construction or home site loan. Make every season a winner with recreational land financing, whether you're looking for acreage to hunt on or just enjoy. Ready to make a game plan? Visit one of Greenstone's locations across Michigan or find us online at greenstonefcs.com.
Honey, did you pay the rent this month? Because I just received a late notice.
Sorry, what's that?
Wait, are you gambling online again?
Me? No, not at all.
If managing the bills and your betting has become a challenge, self-excluding from online gambling or sports betting might be for you. Learn more at don'tregretthebet.org. A message from the Michigan Gaming Control Board. Have a gambling problem? Call the National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-GAMBLER.
And we're back live on the Tom Izzo Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. So do we have any questions in the audience for Tom before we get to trivia and some other things? I think we got a question, Tom.
Kind of a follow-up to the discussion we were just having about the officials working 29 days. And I'm kind of your age contemporary. So it used to be that we had a lot more officials to work those games. And I think even down in the little kids games now and then junior high and high school, officials are getting so much abuse from the parents that nobody wants to go into it to get good enough to work the Big Ten games. So how do we try to get more officials into the game?
What happened?
To be honest with you, they're making enough money where people want to do it.
Right.
You want to do it. They're making enough money where, like if you're taking abuse, but you're making a lot of money, it's worth it. And I mean, there is some truth to it, but listen, it's a hard job. What the difference now is, for the most part, when you had a Big Ten official, he worked Thursday, Saturday back then. When Jack, back in BC, that Jack remembers that Illinois game. But usually they work Thursday, Saturday. And then, now we play 7 days a week. They used to work in the Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Iowa. Now we're in Nebraska, Pennsylvania, we're in Maryland, we're in Washington, we're in USC, we're in New York. I mean, they're flying all night now, sometimes. So, I understand the deal, and I'm half kidding about it, but it's not right. I have always said in the NBA, officials are only allowed to work 14 days a month. Now, but they're union and they're this and they're that. So there's all these problems, just like it is with the players, you know. So it is what it is. And nobody's screwing Michigan State or nobody's screwing somebody else. I mean, you get an official you don't like. They have a coach they don't like. For the most part, I get along with all the officials. I don't think anybody's doing anything on purpose. It's just, and you know, the other thing, like, again, there's a million reasons I like football better, but you know, in football, they travel in, they have a team.
Right.
There's 8 officials or 6 officials, whatever it is, their team. This weekend they work here, next week they work here. And we are 3 different guys come from 3 different worlds and meet. And then that night they never maybe worked with the other guy. And now they got to cover up. It's not a good system. I don't know how you fix it, but it's not a good system. But boy, have I made too much of that. I just wanted to get on Jack a little bit, and then then he brings up 1918 when you know, about a guy. What did Fog Ellen do? Did he get into it too? Built the field house. Question.
Coach, I've got a good question on the end of this, but allow me. USA, USA,
awesome.
USA, USA.
That was awesome.
That was awesome.
Yep.
Nobody would know better than you guys what makes a good coach. And
I don't know anymore.
Talk about that, and talk about some of your guys through the years who have those type of qualities.
Yeah, you know, first of all, the hockey thing was, you know, I got up at 7:30, went in, wrote up all my stuff. The hockey game was on at 8, and I'm a guy that likes to watch the prelim of everything, the Super Bowl, the Final Four, hockey. It doesn't matter what sport it is. When you're playing for championships, they always have human interest stories. And they showed the team in the locker room for a minute, and then they showed the team walking down the tunnel to go out onto the ice. And when I spoke to my team at the pregame meal, I usually come up with something I want to say to them. And I said, you know, this is the greatest time of your life. College sports is, unfortunately, I don't know where it's going to go, but it really is, because you get to play for your university, you get to play for your family, you get to play for your teammates, you get to play for sometimes the state, sometimes 600,000 living in lumps. You go into pro ball and it's great. The money's great, but it is a job. You're hired to be fired. It's a job. Now, if you're good enough to go to the Olympics, that would be the ultimate, because then you get to play for your entire country. And for one time, most people, even Michigan and Michigan State, get along. I don't, but for the most part, most people do. And it was so cool to watch these guys that were probably 25 to 35 years old acting like a bunch of kids. And it was so exhilarating, you know, and they were so excited, and they were all made big money, and they've all pros, and yet that was so dynamic. I called Adam, our hockey coach, and I said, you know, this is better than anything I could watch. They have a game, you know, and I mean that. It was cool. It was great. And
you know, Chief, it brings to mind the day we won the national championship in 2000, and I got to experience something that nobody else on the staff got to experience. Which, yeah, you'll understand this when I say it, though. You know how it was always my job to go get the guys, and we'd be on the 30-minute countdown, 15, then Spartan time, be on the bus 15 minutes before. So at 30 minutes, we were in Indianapolis, and I opened the door to go and tell them 30 minutes. And when I opened the door, they were all standing on the rail, button up, suits on. And I opened the door and they said, "OG, we ready to go." I knew then we were winning.
Yeah.
I knew then we were winning.
There is that feeling, but it's really cool. It's really cool to think about, and I try to tell them this is why your 1, 2, or 3, 4 years of college is so important, because you will never get that feeling, even if you win a world championship in football, basketball, baseball, unless you go to the Olympics. And such a small percent of 364 teams vied to be a champion in basketball. And, so you got a chance, 12 guys, 13 guys of that many. But to be an Olympian, is a million guys and gals are trying to be Olympians. And so I just use that as part of my speech. So I give credit to the hockey team for getting us off to such a slow start.
There you go. And by the way, our show is brought to you in part tonight by the MSU Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of Spartan Athletics. We'll be back with more of the Auto Owners Insurance Tom Izzo Show right here as you're listening to the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the seat view feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Spartan fans, choose chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes these moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is the official beer of Michigan State Athletics. So crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Beer.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
And thanks for joining us for the Tom Izzo Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. And also one of our presenting sponsors, Rocket Mortgage. Rocket Mortgage, you can find them at rocketmortgage.com and own the dream. Well, before we do our trivia, I think we got a question, Tom.
I'm ready.
Well, it's kind of a question. It's almost more of a comment. I wish you could have a little chat with your team and ask them to break these games wide open a little bit sooner, because the string of profanities coming from my living room, I think, is still hanging in a cloud over Lake Erie. The dogs are scared. The cat's long gone. It's just brutal. We need some help there.
I should come over to your house. That way I'd feel right at home. But I'll tell you what, I'm meeting with some of them tonight after this show, and I'll make sure I tell them you said that. And I think that'll have a serious impact knowing these guys.
Oh, man. Okay, it's time for our trivia, brought to you by the Alumni Hall. If you get this right, you get a $25 gift certificate and a couple of tickets to our next game, which is, I only got one left. Rutgers Senior Day. Hard to believe March is almost here, Tom. Man, is this going quick. So here is the question. It's an easy one. Which Spartan has the most points scored ever in a single game at Mackey Arena against Purdue?
I think I know this. And I don't think it was when I've been here.
No, it was not. But it wasn't 1915, and Douglas wasn't playing either. But he might have been. Okay, if anybody knows, we got tickets and cash for you, and we're going to take a break. Back with more right here on the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the seat view feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
This is Labatt, brewed for the fans who can't stop shouting "shoot it," and the driveway heroes who still call raindrops on every brick. Make fun of a ref through the TV like he can hear you, then miss 3 straight free throws on your buddy's hoop. Argue every foul, celebrate every layup, and somehow think you're running the offense from Section 312. But that's the beauty of it. Basketball isn't just about the court, it's the noise, the passion, and the Labatt you're holding while you live it. Labatt, we're brewed for the roast. Enjoy responsibly. Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York.
Hey, Spartan fans! It's college basketball season, and SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of airballs and alley-oops. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be part of all the courtside action this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to MSU basketball games or to any other live event in East Lansing, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of MSU basketball. Go green, go white, SeatGeek.
There's a difference between an answer and a Michigan answer. It starts with our team and people like you. University of Michigan Health Sparrow is hiring for a wide variety of roles at all experience levels. Unlock your potential and discover a fulfilling career at one of our award-winning hospitals and health centers. We make a difference every day, together. Join us at careers.uofmhealthsparrow.org.
And welcome back to our Tom Izzo Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. And when you shop in Meyer, you help support hundreds of local teams across our great state. Learn more at Meyer.com/community. Well, we have a trivia question in front of our audience here at One North. The question is, which Spartan has scored the most points in a single game at Mackey Arena against Purdue? Are you ready?
It's a guess. Debbie from East Lansing, AJ Hogard.
No.
No.
He did not play for Tom.
This guy did not play. Well,
kind of, sort of.
Kind of, sort of. Nijdar Pedavi from East Lansing, Sam Vincent.
Sam Vincent, 39 points in 1985.
Oh, wow.
It was an overtime game. 81-72 win over the Boilermakers in January 10th. And by the way, the all-time record against Purdue was Kurt Mann's, and he did that at home, though. He had 40 against the Boilermakers, and that was in 89. Sam went on to have a pretty good basketball career, didn't he?
Yep, he did. Yeah, I was here then, but I was a GA.
Okay, a couple of announcements. And I think this is kind of cool. You know, if you're part of the Michigan State basketball program, you'll get honors and people will talk about you throughout the year. And it's been odd because I think people take for granted that this program is good every year because people work really hard, as opposed to it just happens automatically. Well, Tom Izzo made the Naismith Men's Coach of the Year shortlist. How about that? I think that's kind of cool. Yeah. It's kind of neat.
How many do they have on there? 200?
No. 150. No. I think they whittled it down to 10. And then they get down to 5 and, you know.
Yeah, well, and not after my faux pas yesterday, man. The new one comes out tomorrow. I'm eliminated.
I don't
and
think
if I
so.
didn't, I'm going to eliminate myself.
Oh, man. Okay, before we get to the question, I don't want to forget this. Mike, he displays his book here. It's this wonderful book he wrote, and it's for sale. But he's having a book signing on March the 5th here at 1 North Bar and Grill in East Lansing. It's from 5 to 7. It's kind of a warm-up before we take on Rutgers for senior night.
Really?
Yeah. So anyway, so you want to get your book signed or bring somebody that's not the show would like to get their book signed? Mike said he'll buy you dinner and sign the book.
I'll do it because my old boss will pay for that. He'll get the check.
So, well,
Well,
we got
Tom-
a question.
Yeah, I got a question.
Sean?
Yep. Jonathan from Lansing. I was wondering, do you track how you guys do on the use it or lose it timeout before a half, and or what is your thought process before deciding whether to play it through or take the timeout?
Yeah, usually I always take the time out. This week I didn't because it just didn't work out. But I mean, I always try to take the time out. And most coaches do it late. Like I've always said to myself, why wouldn't I take it with 2-3 minutes left and maybe I can go on a little run instead of taking it with the last 30 seconds? But 90% of the coaches take it at the very end, and it really makes no sense. So that would be a good thing to calculate, but I haven't really looked at it that way. Just like, in football, those guys, they kind of know how they've done with certain officiating groups. Like I've never done that either because ours is so different, we get 3 different guys all the time. But those would be interesting things. I'm not the world's biggest analytic guy in a lot of those things. I still say that it is what it is. You gotta play that night, and timeouts are critical. I always like to save my other timeouts till late, but the one before half that it's use it or lose it. I 99% use it, but I'll bet you 85% of the time it's in the last minute, which I got to question myself on that sometime. Thanks. You made me think about it.
When do you know to call a timeout, Tom, if the other team's on a run? When is the right time to maybe slow it up?
I don't know, not many times. If a team goes on a big run, I think sometimes I hold on to my timeouts a little bit too much. So I'm going to keep telling you the reasons I don't belong on that list. But this is another one. I think sometimes I do, when Mike was there, I'd say, should I use the timeout? He'd say, hell no. So I never used it. So it's Mike's fault.
But you know what? There's been times you held those timeouts. And I know why, because we had faith in our guys that they would get us back in the game. And then when it got down to the wire and we needed them, the other guy was running out and we ended up winning the game because we had the extra one.
Yeah.
That's
hard.
That's a good
answer.
You can say use it, but gotta.
Jill?
Hi, Coach. You've talked so much today about the Olympics and the coaches and everything. Today, I heard that one of the programs, they said they thought the coaches should also get medals. That said, I just wondered, do you have any aspirations for doing that?
I really,
like Coach K did?
Yeah, I did. In fact, I didn't because Coach K took it 3 Olympics in a row. We had gotten beat. I think Larry Brown, you'd know all the dates. Was that in 96 or? Jack's going to be well known for knowing things that happened 100 years ago, but we got beat, and then they really got upset. And they decided they needed some continuity, and Mike took it, did a hell of a job. And so maybe I was in the running for getting on that one time, and he kept it for 3, which was
12
9
years.
or maybe 12 years. I think it was 12 years. So I don't know. I talked to Grant Hill last year. He talked to me a little bit, but I would do anything in the Olympics. If they wanted me to carry the water bottle, if they wanted me to be a manager, if they wanted me to be an assistant coach, I really do think it's one of the going to Kuwait with our troops and all the things I did over there was one of the highlights. Winning the national championship is great, but playing for your country's got to be by far the best thing ever. And if that ever happened, I'd do it in any way, shape, or form.
Well, you've been very humble about it, but I don't have to be. You should have been the Olympic coach that year. And and I do, It's come on, man. Come on. That bothers me. I mean, really, it's not funny.
It
because
really
you should.
doesn't bother me
You should.
because
You
it's.
should,
I
because you
understood the
deserve it.
reasons for it on why they wanted to keep some continuity, and it's worked out okay. He did a hell of a job, and it's been fun. I'm just going to keep doing my job. I got to win something here, and I'd like to win a gold medal here. That's what I'd like to do.
Yeah. By the way, I agree with you, Coach Garland. In terms of cashier, we always talk about the Abu Law Firm, this wonderful campaign they've had going on for several years. Every time we make it 3, they donate $25 to the Izzo Legacy Foundation, and the same with the women's team. We've had some fun with it, but this is crazy. Now, the women have played an extra game over the men at this point. Their season ends quicker. But here's where we are right now. Both ball clubs literally average the same number of threes per game. We're at 7.6 and they're at 7.7. It's amazing how close it is. But the good news is we're at $10,550, and that's pretty good with games still to be played. So thanks to the Abu Law Firm.
I feel good about that. Usually, Robin, last year, she was killing me. They were hitting a lot more threes. So maybe that's good that we're hitting a few more, and maybe that's bad that they're hitting. But they had a big win yesterday. I watched the whole game last night, and rough first half, but a good second half, and that was great. I hope that puts them into things. Stay in that top 4. They'd get a home court advantage in the NCAA tournament. That's one thing nice for the women. So let's hope they can. Got a couple tough games left, but I hope they can do that.
It'd be great if they could host. Frankly, you want to join us for the Michigan Sports Brief every weekday on all of our Spartan Network affiliated stations, presented by Frank & Muth Insurance. Find a local independent agent near you by visiting fmins.com. We're live here with head coach Tom Izzo, brought to you by Auto Owners Insurance, as you're listening to the Tom Izzo Show.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
This is Labatt, brewed for the fans who can't stop shouting shoot it, and the driveway heroes who still call raindrops on every brick. Make fun of a ref through the TV like he can hear you, then miss 3 straight free throws on your buddy's hoop. Argue every foul, celebrate every layup, and somehow think you're running the offense from Section 312. But that's the beauty of it. Basketball isn't just about the court, it's the noise, the passion, and the Labatt you're holding while you live it. Labatt, we're brewed for the roast. Enjoy responsibly. Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York.
I am MDOC for my family, for the pay, for the benefits, and the security it provides them.
I am MDOC because I can make a real impact in people's lives.
I am MDOC because I serve my community and enjoy doing it.
I am MDOC for the great benefits and the people I work with.
What's your reason? Apply now at mi.gov/MDOC jobs.
Spartan fans, are you looking to grow with a company that cares about you, the environment, and your community? At Shupan, our commitment to a better world goes beyond recycling. We're a leading metals and plastics processor, recycler, and manufacturer, and we're looking for you. Join our team and find a career where you can grow and receive competitive wages, benefits, and monthly incentives. You'll be part of a team that's building a more resourceful future. Find your purpose and your career at Shupan.com. That's SCHUPAN.com. Go green.
And welcome back for more of the Tom Izzo Show presented by Auto Owners Insurance. And don't forget, if you're looking for a break from the cold weather, visit myrtlebeach.com/MSU. So there was a couple of really neat things that were going on besides the basketball game Sunday at the Breslin Center. One was the game is over, and as Tom has already said, the Izzone, that was their final game. And they were lining up after the game to have their moment to kiss the Spartan helmet and take their pictures, which is kind of cool. It's a long line. And in the middle of the long line, when the game is over, are the Michigan State players shaking their hands. I thought that was pretty cool.
You know, I think if there's something that you feel good about, I try to go to an event all the time, and I'm at hockey senior day, and I'm at baseball senior day, and the women, and that's one tradition that we have that has kind of caught fire with everybody. And a couple of years ago, the Izzone wanted to do that, and I thought it was the coolest thing, and so they told me they were doing it yesterday, and after the game, it wasn't the greatest time, and but I told my players, if you guys want to go out there and really thank the people that have done such a good job for you all year, even though we did not help them out today, and everybody, of course, went out, and it was great. I mean, those are the cool things you get to do, You get to do those in college. You don't get to do those in the NBA or the NFL.
And you had some of your old buddies in town.
Yeah, Mike had some of our guys that we played with in college. And then one guy that coached us, Coach Mike and I, named Dwayne Jones. And he was great, man. And so they were there. And so I had them over my house after for a little while. There was about 8 of us, 10 of us, or 7 of us, whatever. So that was good. But, back to our team, I think right now we've got to shore up our turnovers. Like we only had 9 yesterday. I mean, 8 or 9 is good, but we had 4 in the first 2 minutes. That's not good. And so that thing we want to shore up. We got to get our running game going a little bit more. I think we can do that. There are things that we've already done. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We're just trying to bring them back. And so that's what we talked about a lot today, and met with film session, practice, and hopefully we'll move forward.
How do you explain the craziness of this Big Ten season? One day Wisconsin can't miss a shot. We saw that. Next day they can't make a shot.
Yeah, I wish they would have can't make a shot and then made them all. They should have reversed that thing. But there's a lot of good teams. But as I've said forever in the last 3-4 years, there's so many things going on everywhere that I think it is harder to stay focused on the task at hand. And it's not just us. I mean, Kansas loses a game by 16 to a team that's not even that good, right? I don't know what their record is, but they're not in any NCAA chance or anything. And they lose by 16 at home, and that's strange. And then Illinois has a 23-point lead. And after, UCLA had lost, by 50-some here to the 2 Michigan teams, they came back and won it on a full court play with 4 or 5 seconds left. So it's strange. But it's the way it is. And yet, you got to give Duke credit. I just did not think that was one of the better Duke teams when we played them. And they've been as consistent as anybody. I talked to Kelvin Sampson at Houston. They were pretty consistent, and they lost a couple. Now they lost 2 in a row and 3 out of 4 or something like that. Yeah. And, Arizona had lost a couple, and, so it's just the way it is right now. Illinois, coming off that, they've got Michigan Friday, I think. Do they? It's at Illinois, but they've got everybody back now, and that'll be an interesting game. But they're going to be reeling a little bit coming off what they did. So everybody's gone through their stretches, and that's what's going to make the Big Ten tournament really incredible.
Oh, it's going to be nuts. Anyway, we'll be back to wrap up Tom's Show in a moment right here on the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the seat view feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
When it's game time, it's One North time. Just minutes from Michigan State University, One North Kitchen and Bar is your go-to spot for scratch cooking and world-class hospitality. When you're celebrating a win or catching up with friends, we've got the perfect dish to make every moment special. Join us for the MSU Coaches Show and get closer to the action with the voices that bring Spartan spirit to life. Visit One North Kitchen and Bar, where Spartan pride meets memorable meals.
Tired of old school hiring headaches, endless interviews, rigid schedules? The future of work is here, and it's called WorkShift. We match businesses with pre-screened, ready-to-go workers and handle payroll and compliance for you. Need more help today? Less tomorrow? With WorkShift, your workforce scales as quickly as your business does. Visit WorkShift.com to discover the future of work. WorkShift, proud sponsor of Michigan State Athletics.
Here's a club you'll want to get into, Club Citgo. It's the super easy app that opens the door to great fuel savings and more. Sign up and instantly save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill up, plus everyday savings that really add up. You can also enter our sweepstakes with multiple winners and giveaways, like free gas for a year. And Club Citgo makes paying easy with a convenient mobile pay feature. So welcome to the club where all the action is. Download Club Citgo today. Savings good up to 30 gallons, only at participating locations. Data rates may apply.
Welcome back, and we're going to wrap up Tom's show, brought to you by Auto Owners Insurance, as we're hanging out here at One North Kitchen and Bar in East Lansing, home of all the Spartan radio shows. But Tom, we're running out of time here. He's signing a book. He doesn't have a set. There you are.
I'm ready.
Well, what do you think?
Well, what I think is, it's been an unbelievable year so far. I mean, there's still a lot of left, I hope. But for you all that only have one more show left, and for you all that we only have one more home game left, it's been incredible. It's been an incredible year. I think start to finish might have been the greatest fan year in a long, long, long time. I mean, it's unbelievable. If it's 8 o'clock, 8:30 game, or if it's on a weekend, or it didn't matter when it was. People did a hell of a job. So hopefully I'll do as good a job as they'll do, and be watching Thursday night. Somebody gets 2 fouls, I'm leaving them in, just for my buddy Jack.
Oh, my goodness. Well, by the way, we take the air from West Lafayette at 7 o'clock coming up on Thursday. Hope you can join us for that. And as Tom said, we have one more radio show. Hope everybody can be there to attend as well. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate it. See you next week.
You've been listening to the Auto Owners Insurance presentation of the Tom Izzo Show, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense. The Tom Izzo Show is also brought to you by One North Kitchen and Bar, making good times great. SeatGeek, the official ticket marketplace of MSU Athletics. Labatt Blue Light, we're brewed for the roast. Meyer, supporting hundreds of sports teams across the Midwest. Coors Light, choose chill. Dean Trailways, the official ground transportation provider of Spartan Athletics. Make Dean Trailways your favorite ride. The Tom Izzo Show is a presentation of Playfly Sports in partnership with Michigan State Athletics. All rights reserved. Join us next time on this network station for all the Spartan basketball action on the Spartan Media Network.